Good evening, Sarah and friends. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just thought I'd get your attention. John, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Couple quick things before we get started. I'll say this again later, but on your table I have copies of Bob Bone's gear from his estate. Mike Berg, N8QQN. Mike, many of you know Mike. He is taking care of or helping Barbara sell Bob's gear. So this is a list. If you're interested, you can contact Mike. His email address is on the back of this sheet. This is the same sheet that I sent out earlier, but I just wanted to make sure everybody has this. Take this with you if you're interested. I have a couple more copies up here. If we happen to run out of copies for interested folks, I'll send you another one. So that being said, please pay attention to that. I also have a couple of last year's T-shirts. I have a small. I have that's a barometer net shirt, I think. I have a small barometer net shirt. I have an extra large, 2 extra large field day shirts from last year, and maybe there's a couple shirts back there. I'm not taking them home with me. If I'm going to sell them first come, first serve for $5 below cost. If it fits you, please take it. If $5 is too much, make me an offer. But I'm not taking them home. I'm just saying that.
I'll give you about $50.
I know you would, Russ. I appreciate that. Okay, the T-shirts, blah, blah, blah. All right, here we go. I want to welcome the best-looking hams in the hobby, right? Are you guys convinced? Yes?
And the nicest.
Well, yeah, but that's immaterial. As long as they're the best looking, that's what's important.
I'm not very good looking anymore.
Well, that's true, Phil, but...
Yeah, especially me.
All right, here we go. We got a couple of announcements. Stork Watch. There you go. All right. You are.
Just watching the meter.
So I just mentioned that tomorrow, if the baby's born on June 20th, coincides with my birthday too. So yeah, there you go. No, we don't want to do that. Anyway, we're right behind you, Lucy. We are right behind you. Okay. Tom, I talked to Tom. Tom was on the radio this morning, KA8MNT. He's doing well. He needs a triple bypass. They're going to do it up in Cleveland, but he hasn't been able to get a bed up at Cleveland Clinic. So he's been in, I think it's Mercy. Is that the down in Canton? Mercy Hospital. He's down there, and they're just taking really good care of him until a bed becomes available. He's in good spirits. He was on the radio this morning. Actually had a chuckle for us, which was quite nice, and we are wishing him well as well. The next VE session is Saturday, August 2nd, and that one's going to be in Wayne County. Am I right about that?
Yes, at the in Redmond.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Doug, if you'd like to say something about it, go ahead. On my behalf, go ahead. About location, the new location.
Yes, for the past several years, we've been meeting at the church in Sharon Center, and we're thankful for that opportunity that they have provided us. We're going to take the VE sessions back to Rittman, where they've been for many years at the library, but we're not going to be at the library. We're going to be at a meeting room that is in the Rittman Fire Station, which is just down the street from the old library location. And I spoke to the Rittman Fire Chief about that. And he was very eager to allow us to utilize the room, no charge at all. I will say that they do have a pancake breakfast or two throughout the year, so if we want to go and support them in that way, I'm sure they will not say no to us having a pancake or two, but there was no expectations of anything like that. So that's where the sessions will be. I've got that location booked through the end of 2026.
Perfect. All right, thank you for that, Doug. All right, moving right along. I'd be remiss if we didn't at least go back a moment or two and talk about Hamvention. A couple cool things. I got to tell you, N8LTR has, this picture was last month. I did get that, Bill. And so we featured that, plus your refrigerator and some other things there. So that was really nice. If you're going to do field day, that's one way to do it up pretty nicely. Marty Baker does it that way as well. So that's pretty cool. We had a great time. One of the, whoops. Whoa.
All right, we're almost done.
Wrong button. There we go. One of the highlights for us was having dinner with the JAXs from Jacksonville. That was a lot of fun, Wendy and Rod. That was us up there. Let's see. We had, there's Jason, John Wagner, me, George Rydell, and the JAXs. That was a lot of fun, and that really was a highlight for me, seeing those guys again. They're still with us. We also, please stop doing that, Gary. Taco Tim was there, met him. I had my Sarah hat on. And actually what I was doing, I was over here at the beer booth. Not that I hung out there a lot, but I happened to be there when what? Taco Tim came by, saw the hat, and it was really fun meeting up with him. Really pretty cool. It was busy. It was really a nice fest. We dodged the weather. We really were able to dodge the weather. There were no tremendous storms while the fest was in place. That evening, it got kind of nasty on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
It got kind of, yeah.
My RV sounded like a drum head.
I bet. It was pretty nasty. And so right at the very end, we had breakfast. Oh no, this was well, you can see what was going on here. John has a propensity for fruity drinks. What can I say?
Wait, but whose margarita is that right on the other side there, Gary?
I have no idea. I don't like margaritas. Actually, if you want to know how to improve your margarita, anybody?
More liquor?
Yeah, more tequila. More tequila. That's it.
Just tequila. Life give you lemons, add tequila and salt.
There you go. All right. Any other announcements? That's all I have for announcements. Anybody else have announcements for the good of the cause? All right. Moving right along. Minutes. I sent that out again. I think I can send out a link. I'm gonna when Jason gets a little less busy, I want to just make sure I'm doing it the right way. But I think I can send a link out directly from Sarah Cloud. Jason, is that right? And just the link, and I don't have to download the document itself. And okay, all right, we're going to do that. Would I use the third option, the public link? Is that what I use? Okay.
See, you're already an expert.
I am. Imagine that. Okay, Mark. Nice picture of Mark up there. He's our vice treasurer. Again, like I said, we have the best looking hams in the hobby. All right, treasurer's report. Michael.
Okay, well, last month, a lot of what we had was for field day, and We had to get supplies. That was $68.32. Then we had to get more field days supplies from Amazon. That was $33.13. And then last month we had a bill from Morgan Systems, but they were not able to provide what we needed, so we had to go back and order from Ham Radio Outlet. But we got our $151.95 refunded from them. No, sorry, we had to purchase it. It was the Wireman.
Wireman, yeah.
$185.90. We got that refunded. We transferred $500 from PayPal, which was mainly shirts and dues. And last month, from the 50/50, we took in $165 in cash, and that was for the 50/50 drawing and shirts. And if you want shirts, you can purchase more shirts. So that left us with a balance of $5,726.65. We always keep $1,100 out. That is to cover any kind of repeater maintenance, replacement, things like that. So he gives us a balance of $4,626.65.
All right. Any questions on the treasurer's report? All righty.
And for the record, I was also at field day on Saturday, not field day, at Ham Convention on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And I have had the distinct honor of being run over by Dave Kassler in a motorized chair.
That, yeah.
I was there and I was getting a scope and a meter, and he was looking at this stuff all along. He kept saying, I'm sorry. I said,
Good thing I
it's
didn't see
okay.
it.
It's okay.
I had to
Be
fix it.
ready.
That's, that is a challenge. That's a challenge at Scooters. All right. Anything else for the good of the cause on the treasurer's report? Yes, sir, Mr.
Since
Vice
I'm
Treasurer.
Vice Treasurer. Jason reminded me I'm also, I guess, in charge of the club photos. So if you got some photos, send them my way, and I'll get them up there.
I got some photos for you.
Not those
Not
photos.
those photos.
Boo. And
This is a G audience. G, yeah.
so anybody that's got some photos they'd like to publish, I'd love to put them up there for you.
Thank you.
Very good. And that is, that's a huge job in terms of, I try to take pictures, but sometimes I get involved and forget to take pictures. But if someone was actually, had that job of taking pictures, that makes it a lot easier. And we have some great pictures, and try to use them. Try to use them as much as possible. All right, moving right along. These are the committee reports. Next up, we have KD8 SLG Special Field Day Report. Now, let me just say this on the outset. This Nick's report is going to cover a couple of the committees. So when the committee chairs come up, they can do an addendum or whatever. But the overview of Field Day is in your hands, sir.
So we're going to start by not talking about field day, naturally. So I want to talk a little bit about nets, NCOs, and a little bit of netiquette. I'm not going to make you sit through the 45-minute netiquette spiel again, but we did some recruiting. We got a couple of new NCOs, so there's a couple of things that I would like to review before we throw them to the wolves. We have some really, really great nets here. The barometer net, of course, 35 years and running. Beacon net at night does pretty good. Our club net has pretty great attendance, and we now have a couple of NCOs that work on the Board and Breaker net out of Oklahoma. So we got a pretty good reach, and you know, so what is it that makes our nets attractive to people? There's kind of three things. First off, we have absolutely fabulous NCOs. So, you know, Barometer Net, we got Dave, Fred, Gary, Phil and Stefan on Saturday. Phil in Javen's shoes is no small task. And Night, Dustin, Nick at Night, Eric, Josh, and Lucy all do fabulous jobs. And of course, KC8HDP, where are you? Where's that shiny head? There it is. I can't leave you off the list. You got our club nets. So we all do a great job. But, you know, that's probably not why people show up. It's part of the reason. You got to be able to move traffic. You got to have some character. And remember, just because you are a character doesn't mean that you have character. Luckily, we have people who have character that are characters as well, and that's a much better combination. So we got great NCOs, but we also have a really great system. Okay, between All-Star and Echolink, we've got a whole lot of reach out there. And this is where I've got to say, where's Bill? On RF, the way it should be, right? All-Star and Echolink are here to stay, okay? And we get half our net traffic from them. Allstarlink.org, you can go in there and kind of look for active repeaters. We're usually on that list. You look for a place that has a lot of connections. We're usually on that list. So people come looking for us. Odd thing I've noticed is we have about the same number of All-Star connections for the Barometer Net and the Beacon Net. But the big difference is the Barometer Net in the morning is mostly local guys on their nodes, their personal nodes, and a couple repeaters, the 700, 015. They link up. So it's different than the Beacon Net links, which are mostly repeaters and hubs. And when I say hubs, I mean like Extended Freedom Network, which is all over Europe, Fireside, which is all over the place. We've got 2 repeater chains in Texas that link up, and the Board and Breaker hub links up. So we've got a lot of reach out there, and a lot of people hear about us, and that's how they show up. So we've got that going for us too. The system works really well, and that can't be said for everybody's All-Star and Echolink system. Thank you, Jason. But for real, if you all had to wait for me to fix something, it'd be months. Just saying. But ultimately, what really makes our nets great, or I'm going to say it this way for a hint, what keeps the net alive? Dave?
The people who just check in and talk and are patient and hang out with everyone.
Participation, okay? It's the best nets in the world. You can have the greatest system in the world, but if nobody checks in, it's not a net, right? So it's all of you that make the nets great. That's the bottom line. But all those other things have to work at the same time. So how does this work into NCOs that we've recruited? So AA8CT is going to be picking up a shift next week? Or is that, K8JAX. All right, that's why I needed to talk about this, because K8JAX, you all know Rod and Wendy. Okay, they moved to Florida. Rod wants to pick up a shift, so he's going to be running nets on All-Star, okay, much like I do. So to make that work easier for him, keep a couple things in mind. Wait for the beep, okay? Wait for the beep, all right? That beep's got to happen for everything to click through all the systems. It's going to make everybody's lives a lot easier. This is the netiquette part. Okay, how many times have you guys heard, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8SLG, Nick in Orville. Anybody? No? Nobody's ever heard that before? Okay, all right. Does it sound pretty much the same every time? Pretty much. Does it take a really long time? No. No, it doesn't. Does that work better getting into a net than, say, KDSLG?
What'd you say?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Yeah. KDSLG, all right? You can ask me 3 or 4 times, you're still not gonna hear it, but that's what I hear sometimes, okay? Trust me on this as much as you can trust wearing sunscreen to protect your skin, okay? If you check in that way, it's a song. If you check in that way, you got a much better chance of being heard. If there's 3 or 4 people talking over you at the same time, I can pull most of you out with just a syllable or 2. If I have another clue, like a location, that solves it. If I hear Q in Strasbourg, it's Ben. If I hear nothing but Brewster, it's WD8LLA, okay? So there's a lot more clues in giving it phonetically, alphanumerically, name and location for the NCO to pull you out. And lastly, for the low power guys and the Echolink guys, you say you have a hard time getting in, you get stepped on, people can't hear you. My suggestion to you is to wait. Don't try to be the first person every time because you are going to be disappointed, all right? And you're just going to get frustrated. When I'm NCO and I get to the end of a string of check-ins, I wait until the spectrum analyzer on my 991A clears. And that's about 7 seconds of nothing, okay? If 7 seconds is not enough time for you to key up and get in there, you're not doing something right, all right? So if you're low power and you're having trouble getting in, don't try to fight the masses, just wait.
Echolink won't let you fight the masses.
I don't know, Echolink doubles with people all the time now. Something changed.
It won't let me key up until everybody's done and dropped.
So I can talk, so there, right, so there is going to be a change that will universally force Echolink to simplex. You won't be able to key up over top anybody anymore. Whenever I finally replace that last pi.
Yeah. Remember when I was in Glasgow and I complained I didn't have a transmit button?
Yeah?
That was why.
There was just no
There was
opening
no
for you.
transmit button while other people are talking.
Okay. So what did you have to do?
Just wait.
Wait.
Wait until everybody shut up.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I did not coach him, I assure you.
My phone's working the same. My phone works the same way.
So there you go. Yes, Dave.
I just want to double down on what you're trying to say, is be patient. This is ham radio. It's not an emergency. If you don't get in today, you'll get checked in tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I always wait until after, when I'm running NCO, and even when I try to check in, mostly, unless just it's not what's going on, I wait till everything to drop. Because I want to make sure all the systems are clear, wherever it's linked up to, because I don't know who's linked up when.
Okay,
I'm
well,
on RF.
so believe you me, I'm doing that when I wait 6 or 7 seconds.
Exactly. So
And-
you're waiting for that to drop, and if I'm taking check-ins, I'm sure some of you folks who've checked in on Monday mornings. There's like a silence before I pick up and say,
Yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah, because
There's enough time to get in it there
So-
at the end, so be patient.
so I cheat a lot, especially with checking into nets, because I will check into a net using All-Star so that I can look at the dashboard and see that I am the one who has the microphone. But then when I talk, I use a radio.
So, yeah, just be patient, and
So-
it's not the end of the world, it's just hammer.
There's a little magic behind the curtains. All right. Anything else on Netiquette, Nets, NCOs? Oh, and AA8CT has he's picked up a couple of Jim's early mornings when Jim hasn't been able to lately. So he's on the list of future coming NCOs. And any night owls out there, I think Dustin would like another 1 or 2 too. Yes, Jason.
Just real quick, since it's been talked about a few times here, I will again, as the technical trustee, put out the plea to not use Echolink and use All-Star as much as possible, either DV switch the app or repeater phone the app, or there's a couple other ones. Those are the two that most people use. You will undoubtedly 100% have a better experience than Echolink.
Not at my place.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. Seriously,
I'll
and
ship you a-
generally
I'll ship you a
speaking,
note.
All-Star sounds a hell of a lot better than Echolink
I mean,
for the most part. So,
I'm curious.
oh, DV switch just drops when you look at it at work, you know? Just, and I can't. You hook me up like FPV, it's a bit. But, I can walk around the entire complex and Echolink won't drop, where DV switch, you tilt the phone, it drops.
Right.
Thank you. That's weird. I'll have to look. I wonder if there's a timeout setting that got changed.
I don't know, it's just, it's bad, it's a bad, operating system, I think. At least the app.
look here, Scott, look here. There you go. All right, forward. Right one? Okay, now we'll talk about field day. Anything else about nets, netiquette? Yada, yada, yada. All right, good deal.
Wait for the beep.
T-shirts. Wait for the T-shirts.
I'm going to get a wait for the beep tattoo.
Put the Roadrunner on it. Wait for the beep.
Maybe
All
put
right.
it on your forearm so we can see it.
I'm going to put it someplace you guys can hear it.
We don't want to know.
All right, so here's the overhead view of the Legion Hall. This is how we set up the antennas last year. Jason went to great lengths to line them up, and we tried to approximate those things as best we could. And we're going to do that again this year. Upgrades are we moved to FlexWeave for the antenna wire instead of just bare wire. It's much easier to handle. And the support system, what's going on with that? Yes or no?
It's gonna be a game time decision.
Okay,
Mark,
as many of them are.
you want me to talk about that now?
No,
Okay.
no. You want to talk about it during tech committee? That's cool. All right, groovy. So we put the crank up tower here. We put the mast over here. The big antenna 80/40/20 goes there. Thank you. That's very intuitive of you. And the 2015-10 goes over there. Not a whole lot of changes there. Just need some people to put it up and take it down. Put it up Saturday morning and take it down Sunday morning. Kyle. All right. That's all I got for that slide. Let's move on. This year we got band captains. I read the ARR field day thing for field, and they said you should call them band captains, so that's what we're doing. 10 meters is going to be Ken as usual. 15 meters is going to be Jim this year. He's in Missouri tonight, so he's not here. 20 meters, Ben's taken over for me. I'm giving up my coveted 20-meter spot because, well, I don't feel like ripping my station apart, and I make one contact every field day. We can do better than that. But people use my radio all day. So this year, Ben's going to camp there, and we're going to get some 20-meter points. 40 meters is going to be Scott, that guy, again, and Phil's got 80 meters. So good deal. What do we got there? 857s, Ken? Is that what's in your box?
Yeah.
857s. NADI's got a DX10. BHQ is going to be running a 710, right? RWX, DX10?
Yes, sir.
Another DX10 and PMI 7300?
7,300.
7300. All right. So, and then we've got Lane over here, who I just give free rein to with whatever he wants to do. So he's got a 2-meter antenna. He's got 6-meter, 10-meter antenna. He runs FT8. We can run that off of any radios. He's a great ambassador, so he's out in the main room meeting people, and I just kind of let him do what he wants to do. We're going to try some satellite this year with K4OG. He's built some sort of contraption. It should be fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
We'll try it out. Make sure it doesn't take out an eye, please. All right. And then we were just talking, we put up the 160-meter antenna when it gets dark just for fun. And we can plug any radio into that. So that's just cool. Safety officers this year, K4OG is doing it again. And last year I had this guy following me around who answered all my questions with his phone almost instantly. Dave, where are you? There you are. Yes, we should call him Dave GPT. But he's gonna be helping out with the safety and things and keeping people out from under the guy wires while we're trying to put the antennas up and things like that. Good deal. So adding some people to the mix, but mostly the same folks again. which is awesome. So we are going to be 7 Alpha Oscar Hotel. What's that mean and why? Okay, we're A, because we use emergency power for all the radios. Oscar Hotel is Ohio, and that's us. And the 7 is the number of transmitters. If you look back there, we can really have 5 main radios going all the time, and Lane running another one, and then I made it 7 because if we're doing satellite or something else at the same time, we can hook up FT8 to do something, anyway, there's a possibility that we can have 7 transmitters going, so we're going to go with 7 Alpha, and 6 Alpha had scores in the ether, but 7 Alpha doesn't. So that was a little bit of a calculation too there. We aren't going to win the contest that isn't a contest, but maybe we can place or show.
Yeah.
All right? And we did do better last year than we did the year before, and that's all we can ask, right? Right. So strategy this year. Last year it was all about butts in seats, okay? And I think we did a pretty good job of keeping butts in seats. We definitely did better than the year before. This year we're going to take a different strategy. We're going to try to stake out a frequency or two before the bands open up. We're going to get the best frequency out of the antennas from the analyzer. Try to camp out on that frequency where we'll get the best response, and then just stay there. And instead of hunting and pecking and trying to get, we have people pile up and line up to get us. Yes, Dave?
Just, this is something that I thought was thinking last year, and I'm sure we've talked about it
Yeah.
last year. Make sure we have somebody who can cover for bathroom duty.
Well,
All right, in the 2 minutes it takes somebody to get up and relieve themselves, you're gonna lose frequency. So if we're gonna use this strategy, let's make sure we always have somebody there to come in and just cover and have some fun and.
Ben's young. He can last a lot longer than most of us.
Bring a bottle.
Put a bottle in each radio.
And everybody comes with something strapped to your thigh.
Not lemonade.
All right. I basically couldn't get out of bed for 3 months. So it's
No,
all.
but I like
Yeah.
the strategy. This is something we talked about last year, is keeping the frequency for as long as possible. And if you give it up, somebody's gonna take it.
Yeah. So
Just before you get released, before you get up from the radio, make sure you got somebody to cover for you. I think would be a good strategy.
we got it, man. How about it, Ben? There you go. Thumbs up. There was a thumbs up.
One real big bucket, and then all the radios, and then we can make
That bucket full of bow phones. All right, so that's the general strategy. We'll see how that works. All right, and as far as station on the air, GOTA? Yes, get on the air. That's right. So the rules for get on the air station are you have to have somebody posted on it all the time. You have to have so many contacts made to make it worth the 100 points, to get the 100 points, this, that, and the other thing. So we're not going to go for the points for GOTA, but my understanding for getting on the air has always been that all of our radios are get on the air radios. So if anybody comes in and wants to sit down at a radio, and as long as we're not working a pile up or something, we'll get them on a radio and try to make a contact. And we do that with anybody who comes in if we have the opportunity. So let's not have one. Ray in Oklahoma is running their get on the air station this year, and he's very excited about it, but they have a lot of new hams who want to go in and try out HF equipment. We don't have a whole lot of techs, but just remember, everybody, if you're a tech, this is your chance to come in and play HF all you want, because as long as Ken is hovering about, being my what do I want to say? My extra angel. Yes, he's my extra who's there all night to keep us in compliance no matter what. So. Yeah, we've always got every class covered, so anybody can jump on a radio. So everything's get on the air. We're not going to have a GOTA station and per se. There you go. Tentative schedule, 10 to 12, and 10i erection. That's when we want to put them up. I get there a little bit earlier, like to turn on the air conditioning and make sure there's toilet paper in the bathrooms and things. So I'm there a little bit earlier, and that's sort of a tentative because it depends how much work we've got done on the antenna, how much tuning we have to do to get it up there. We'd like to have it be done by 12 so that all the guys can go in and set up the radios and get their stations set up. 12 to 2. It's also nice to be able to jump out for lunch there if we get everything done. That's happened once or twice. So that's that. From 2 to 5, of course, that's showtime. And that's when we expect most of the visitation, and that's when we really want to get people involved, and that's when we see most of the people. But we have people in and out all night long. So don't be afraid to come in at 2 in the morning and see what's going on, because chances are you'll be able to sit down at a radio or at least grab some coffee. Presentation is going to be done by Ken this year. He's doing a presentation on a dongle you can buy on Amazon for relatively inexpensive. And we just talked about it at dinner. He's going to kind of run the demo all day, but sometime around 5-ish, when we start breaking up from the afternoon and before we start stuffing our pie holes, Ken's going to do a presentation on that. And that should be awesome. 6-ish, we're looking at dinner. Stefan will fill us in on what we're having or what we're heading towards having. It's probably best that we don't know just yet because, yeah, if you bought it already. And then all night long operations. That's it. Next morning, about 8 o'clock, that's when, I start thinking about tearing it down at about 5 or 6. But I got to wait for the fog to settle and the grass to get a little dry and everybody to have a couple donuts and coffee before that happens. If you show up at noon thinking we're probably still going to be operating, chances are you're going to be seeing the last of the cars pulling out, and that would be me. We don't tend to last very long into the next day. So that's the tentative schedule. Any questions on any of that? Ross, you had your hand up before, and I forgot until now.
Oh, I shouted it out.
What?
About going to the bathroom to
Oh.
wear diapers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. All right. There we go. That's it. That's all I know about field day. I got sign-up sheets over there if you want to pick some hours. There's a sign-up sheet for antenna crews setup and takedown. So sign up and I'll expect to see you there. And if not, then I'll do some recruiting. There you go. Thank you. Here you go, Jason. All right.
We're so fancy now with the little official YouTube mic.
It was tickling my chin.
I like it. It's so fluffy. And, so I'm not going to go over a whole lot here. Field day prep. Nick talked about it a little bit. We're making a couple improvements. We've started using the fan dipoles that we used last year. Worked really well. After we had them up, I discovered that I optimized for the wrong thing in designing them last year. I said, I'm going to get this really strong steel core wire because then we'll never break the antenna. And then we tangled the legs up and spent an hour untangling the legs of 400 feet of steel core wire. Lesson learned. So actually a couple guys came out to my house last weekend. We stripped off that old wire, which will be offered for sale at the next Sarah sale that Gary hosts. So you can give the club some of your money and buy some of the wire. It's very nice wire if you want the antenna to stay permanent. Wrong choice for the field antenna. So we did get FlexWeave. If you've not seen FlexWeave, it's essentially like copper rope. You can just kind of drop it and it acts like a piece of string. It's actually very nice wire. I am less convinced that it is magically less tangled as other people proclaim it to be, but it will be better, if nothing else. So we've got that going in this year. Also, Mark was helping me out a little bit. I had this crazy idea that our 2015-10 dipole needs to have an arm across the top of it to make it a true flat top dipole. if you remember last year, especially when you get down to the 10 meters, the 10-meter V was, I mean, it was almost a vertical at that point. So what we might try to do, especially since that antenna actually runs up Ron's, is crank up mast the right thing? It's just like this hydraulic explosion of tower. What? Yeah. But is there cranking involved or just your truck going, boom? All right. It's a beefy portable tower. So Mark got some 1.25 inch PVC that I think is going to work better than what I had laid out. So we're going to try to stretch that out as a flat top, since we can kind of build it on the ground and then just lift it into place. So that ought to help the 10 and 15 meter receptivity, especially because this should be a pretty good year for 10 meters. Yeah.
Don't worry too much about 10. I'm bringing a 10-meter dipole that I'm going to put on a 25-foot mast that I can Armstrong rotate. So
Okay.
I'll have a true 10-meter dipole on
Okay.
a 25-foot mast.
Okay.
It'll be rotatable.
I think that's the extent of the field day prep. Something else I did want to mention, we have been moving forward with the club. The Sarah Cloud infrastructure that we've built works really well. You'll be seeing that coming out more and more as we start sharing documents. The roster is stored there. I have failed to automate the sending of the roster link, which is somewhere on a piece of paper in my office that I promptly wrote that down and then moved the paper far away from my desk. And as I stand here now, I remember that I haven't done it. So I gotta do that. But the other thing we did is I did put up a new photos site. Mark mentioned this briefly. Mark has graciously volunteered to be the photo wrangler. But if you go to the club website under the link of photos now, it'll take you to a gallery that's organized by event and year. We were using Flickr. Flickr's terms of service was changing for like the 7,000th time in the last 5 years. So we're hosting that again. We have a better system now. If you have pictures, especially from past years, get them to Mark. Something Gary mentioned, Mark's going to be the safety officer at Field Day. So if you are interested in being the photographer to take some nice pictures, maybe some videos, we would love for someone who has an interest in that to do that.
You don't have to have a camera. We've got one you can use.
Oh, okay. Scott's even offering a camera, or cell phones work as well. So just capture some pictures. Any modern photographic picture is going to be better quality print than like a field day picture from 30 years ago on a 35 millimeter fuzzy picture. So didn't have 8K high def pictures back then. So was there something else I was supposed to talk about, Gary, or was that it? All right.
You want to mention Discord?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
By popular-ish demand, out of the last, was it the operating committee, ops committee meeting when we talked about it? Some meeting I was in, it was talked about. People were interested in bringing back the. A couple years ago, we had tried to experiment with Discord to get an online ham community going, and it worked for a while and then kind of petered out. It's been going for about a month now. We have really good engagement. There's actually people online right now talking about the club meeting, which is kind of interesting and weird. So, hello, Discord people. But it's fairly easy to use. It's easy to sign up. Josh had put the link on the website a couple weeks ago. It's the first hit on the page. Join up. It's actually going really well. So, you can jump in. It's basically a chat platform. Jump in, chat with people as much or as little as you want, and then disappear. We've had many people who have signed up and not returned. There's 2 of them over there. Over there.
I was there this afternoon.
Oh, okay. I was working, so I didn't see that. So okay, so my teasing of you is dated. I apologize.
I posted a photo of my geocron wannabe. I call it
Ghetto-cron. But it's something we're trying to go, and it's not limited to Sarah. I mean, we're trying to get it to be an active community of people just to talk about ham radio stuff rather than something topical. Are there other discords for ham radio? Yes, there are.
Tons.
But, we're trying to make it for kind of Northeast Ohio, our area, things we're doing, things we're interested in, see how it goes. So that's my sell to Discord for Josh. Anyone have any questions about the tech committee, repeaters, why you should use DV switch and repeater phone over Echolink, even if you drop out?
I just need your help.
We'll figure it out. I actually have a feeling I know what it is, actually. All right. Mr. Hunter.
Thank you. Mr. Hunter, you're on.
Doug's like, I have nothing to say to you, any of you.
Yeah, I already made mention of the fact that VE sessions are going to be held in Rittman moving forward. We did have a VE session on June 7th. First VE session that I was part of that there was nobody there to take the test, so hopefully that's not a trend of anything in the future. But Stefan, I think, will maybe address the exam tools situation. Where is Stefan?
Right here.
There he is.
Yeah.
You want to just make mention of
I'm
it?
part of the social. I'll just,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
all right, very good. Otherwise, I have nothing more.
All right, Member Support Committee, right now, all we have on the agenda, Bob Bones estate. I passed out, Barbara contacted Mike Berg, N80QQ, I think it is. Mike, oh no, N8QQN, excuse me. So Mike's handling that. ICE gave you a list of equipment via email a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, and I also have an updated sheet that I left on the table. If you're interested in any of the gear, take the sheet. It's got Mike's email address on it, and you can contact him directly and make arrangements with him directly. Let's see, Ron, anything for the good of the cause? Nothing for the good of the cause? All right, that's fine. So I know there's been a lot of stuff going on, but that's great. And Ron's also been working with Nick on the tower, our crank-up tower, and that was not gifted, but loaned to us by Rick Niemer. So that should be a really good value add for us this year. Hopefully it'll be a little easier than last time. So that's the hope.
It was pretty quick and easy last year.
Yeah,
Crank
well,
tower.
I'm referencing a couple years ago.
You mean the year we tried to put the mast up upside down?
That one, yeah, that one. Not that we would ever do anything
I'm glad
like
we
that.
noticed it when we did.
Finger chomping mast.
That was my first year.
All right, Social Committee. Stefan, what do you have for us?
Yo.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. How is everyone?
Hi,
Fantastic. I'm
Steph.
glad you guys are all awake. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So the social committee back there, the most important thing are the t-shirts are sitting back there. If you ordered a t-shirt, they're all marked with your name on, your size, and the ones to the left are the long sleeve. You'll see they're a darker orange. The ones to the right are the short sleeve. Do not rush up yet. I see Ron. Do not rush up yet. Please stay seated.
I'll forget if I have 5 more minutes.
But anyways, I want to thank John KUIB right there. Everybody give him a hand. John Sayer, the t-shirt guru. And John wanted to say something real quick about the t-shirts.
I just want to say I appreciate everybody's business. It's been a total privilege and honor to print the shirts for the club. So,
John,
Louder.
project.
sorry
Project.
guys. Okay. I just want to say thank you. It has been a privilege and honor to print the shirts for the club, and you know, this is the 4th run of shirts I've done for you guys in the last 2 years, and it's an honor and a privilege, and to just be a whole part of the community in general, and to be able to provide this to you guys. Thank you.
Cool. Good job. And if you stand up for a second, John's got the shirt on right now, and if somebody walks up to you and says, "How can I find out about you guys?" You got a phone? Take a picture of the QR code right there, and boom, you're on the about page for the club. So anyways, a little additional feature. Only costs us $32 a shirt. But other than I'm just kidding. I kid.
God, tack up those nickels somehow.
Yeah, 1 nickel at a time. That's right. Field day. We're going to have a good meal on field day. It's going to be a pasta dish with salad, probably breadsticks. I'm trying to get that going. That's going to start at 6. People are going to be able to eat and have a great time there. In the morning, we're just going to have, all day long, we're going to have coffee stuff with the 30-pot coffee.
What kind of beer do we have in the keg this year?
We don't have any beer in the keg, but
Root beer.
root beer, thank you. But we will have beverages and water. There's plenty of water, and there's water in the bathroom. So I know they have water in the in the portable thing. So if you have,
We'll have bottled water.
we have plenty of
We'll
water.
have
We have plenty
water.
of water. But anyways, long story short, breakfast will be just basic, standard stuff like donuts and simple pastries, things like that. If anybody would like to bring some stuff to field day, feel free. We got a whole wall there where we usually set up food, and we can plug something in even if you wanted to bring something, if you're inclined, or cookies, baked goods. Anything that anybody wants to donate, we're fine with that. Everyone will eat it. It will not go home, except for a big, if you're there at field day and you find a giant pan of sausages from about 4 years ago, please let Russ know, because he's been looking for them.
Don't let me know.
Because Russ lost those, and they're there somewhere.
Somebody took them.
It'll bite you.
So, right, yeah, nice. It definitely will bite you from about 4 years. So by the way, if you have a Discord account, that will help you when you go and sign up when we start signing up for Exam Tools, because you need Discord to join the Exam Tools group. So sign up now for your Discords like we were talking about, and then you'll have at least that part ready to go. We are going to move to Exam Tools. I got to get some emails out. I'm really sorry about the field day and all that stuff. I will send all that out. I did talk to Doug a little bit about that. I'm going to go down in the next week or so, probably not field day week because I'm really busy, and as we all are. But I want to get down there and check the Wi-Fi and several other things for him, and he said that would be no problem to book that. Once I get all that locked down, I will let you guys know via email. Anything else or questions that anybody has about any of that stuff, please let me know. Like I said, T-shirts are back on the counter. They're all labeled. And when we're done and we take the break, please go up there and find your name, grab your T-shirts, and thank you for supporting Sarah with your T-shirts. And again, I can't say this enough. Those guys make great T-shirts. I mean, they've been printing them for several years, and they're fantastic. They're really, really good. So everybody, thank you so much for letting me have your time, and I'll hand it to the next person.
All right, Stefan, thank you very much. We do appreciate all your work. And John, thank you, sir. And thank your lovely wife, too, because I know she has to put up with you. So that being said, yeah, hot off the presses, I like this, by the way. And this is this picture came from you, right?
Right,
That's,
correct.
that's
It's actually on the pallet. That was actually just as I pulled it. So
yeah, that
was the first one down.
That's the first one.
Matter of fact, the one I'm wearing.
All right, hot off the presses. Very good. Any questions for Stefan before we move on? Nicely done. All right, Operations Committee.
Love that picture.
Where did you get those eyes?
Oh, thanks. This picture looks way better on the
Here
computer.
you go.
All right.
Evel, yep.
Hi, my name is John.
That's my middle name. Evil. Evil Josh.
He plays with radio.
All right, let's talk operating stuff. Summer events. POTA went great, I think so. Who had a good time at POTA? Yeah, it was cold. We'll get to that. It was cold. Field day. Nick talked about field day. What else is coming up this summer? Fox hunt. Tentatively, we're going to say late July. So more on that later. And then I'm also trying to organize kind of a field trip special event thing up at Lake Erie's. But I don't want to give too much away about that before the time comes. So more on that later at another meeting. But hey, what are you doing here? Hi. The POTA was awesome, other than it was freezing. We had about 40 people, according to the sign-up sheet, that showed up, which was pretty awesome. And that's about how many degrees it was. Go ahead, Stefan.
Can I just point out, people who don't know him, when you hear his voice every day, that's Kerry right there. Our
W8CTM, right?
WHCTM.
Yep. He's been at both POTAs, and I have failed to meet him at both. So one of these days, we're going to have to remedy that. But yeah, I think it was a great time. That was the shelter. Not a lot of sun, but a lot of people showed up. It was awesome. Thank you, Mark, for the pictures. We appreciate it.
I had a great time taking them.
Awesome. Phenomenal. Let's see. Wade was there. Nick. Man, it was great. What else? Ida, thank you for bringing cupcakes. We appreciate that. They were delicious. I even took, we had a couple of them left over, and I visited the Canton Club down at, Jackson's Bog afterwards, and brought them a couple extras. So that was kind of cool. I think they liked that. So thank you again. And let's see, what else? We had good food. Thank you to Doug for cooking very, very much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. It was delicious. That
crock pot there was not for the turkey chili, that was for warming our hands.
Oh, I see.
Chili, by the way, was given to us by Brenda Christian, who couldn't make it tonight.
Okay, all right, yep. And I think that's Brenda, right? Yep. Brenda, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and Brenda was an awesome greeter. I think she chased people with the clipboard, the signage. It was phenomenal. That's how I'm able to tell you we had 40 people there. What else? So yeah, thank you to the social committee. Thank you so much, Stefan, for organizing and putting that with the meetings and everything, putting that together. Thank you so much. Let's see.
Oh, and Ida made cupcakes, that top picture.
Yep. They were delicious. But we had men behind vans. We had Lane with the awesome tower set up. What was that? 2 meters, 70 centimeter beam, right, Lane? Right. What was that? Is that a 6 meter Mosley?
6 meter Moxon.
Moxon, okay.
Supposed to be Horse Island.
Oh, and there was another antenna up here, right? So that's Craig down there, AA8CT. He was having a blast. He looked like he was having the time of his life making contacts. It was awesome. And there's Phil. And so that was awesome. Nick, messing with Nick's stuff.
I didn't do it.
One of the Nicks did it.
At least he didn't have no tools in his hand.
Yeah. But what else is going on? Ron got taken away. I looked over, and this is what I saw, and I'm like, what happened? I turned my back for a minute, and it's like, what did Ron do? Nick looks heartbroken. He's like, who's gonna drive me around now? My presidential limo driver. Actually, that's the original picture. He was just had to move his car. But I thought that was funny. I turned around. That's exactly what I saw. I'm so glad that Mark got a picture of that. That was phenomenal.
I was parked on the grass, and I saw that Ranger coming down when I was pulling out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I skirted enforcement.
Yeah, there you go. Good. All right. Well, glad Ron is still with us. Thank you to all the activators who came out. We had a good turnout, and we'll talk about number of contacts in a minute. But before we do that, let's see. I want to make sure I've mentioned everything I want to. We actually had a couple of people come and sit down at my 991A. That's one of them. I think his name was Jeff, and there was another gentleman, I can't remember. They're new to POTA. I think he's a technician, or he just recently upped, or he was going to. So he got to sit down and listen. He just wanted to sit and listen to me make contacts, which was cool, so he learned a little bit. And so did the other gentleman. And then buddy of ours from our church actually came out, Carl, and he doesn't have a license. He barely knows what radio is at all. And he actually sat down and he keyed up a couple of times and made a contact or two. So that was really cool. Actually, Carl was on the radio when K5CFY from Oklahoma made a contact with us. So that was really, really sweet. That was awesome. So it was good to talk to Ray. What else was going on? Brian and 7VAN brought a rig out and played around with it. And Ben brought out his radio. And let's see, who else was an activator? Lane, Craig, Ben, Brian, and there was another gentleman, Mike. I think his call, KD8 IUA, brought out a 7300. So that was pretty cool. But again, I want to thank Doug for cooking the food, Brenda for being the greeter, Stefan for organizing and getting the paper handouts for our club, the business cards. N8LTR was running the talk-in station. Thank you, Bill. And go ahead.
Yeah, you know, it was actually so cold there that I actually put my hands in the chili to warm them up.
That was the extra flavor.
That's what it was.
Yum!
Delicious.
Phalanges.
Ida for the cupcakes, and Harry, K8ZZR, he actually printed up these little activation guides that we have that help people to know what the call and response is for POTA, so your call sign and then how you receive how you do a QSO essentially. So appreciate him printing those and laminating for us. And so club contacts that we made, we contacted of the other 8 or 9 groups that were out. We made contact with Cuyahoga Falls, and then KD8 OBA Ken was representing P-Cars. He was out at West Branch, so we talked to both of them, made contacts with both of them, and then, like I said, Mr. Ray out in Oklahoma. So that was pretty cool. And let's see, what else? So wrap up these were all the different groups that participated. So Rich, AF1K, the Cuyahoga Falls Club, Sarah, the Warren Amateur Radio Club, they were out in Mosquito Lake. Canton Club was out at Jackson's Bog. I actually got to visit them, which was pretty cool. I mentioned that earlier. Gene, W8NET, he activated out at Cooper Rider, Kent Bog. Ken, KD8 OBA, representing P-Cars out there at West Branch. Nor's up at Tinker's Creek. And North Coast Amateur Radio Club, they signed up, but I wasn't able to find any information on their activation or how they did or anything. So, but total number of contacts, Rich, AF1K, actually got 113. So he topped out above everybody here. Cuyahoga Falls got 99, and Sarah got 98. We did have 108 contacts, but I think Lane and I doubled a couple. Some people contacted us on the same band a couple times. That brought us from 108 down to 98. So almost had Cuyahoga Falls. It wasn't a contest, but it's still fun to see.
Everything's a contest. You can make it.
That's true. Warren got 81. Canton got 76. Gene got 51. Ken got 41. Norris got 25, and then I'm not sure about North Coast. So that was pretty cool. So thank you to all of the different clubs who participated. That's a great turnout, phenomenal, and I think we're gonna do good next year. So it's pretty great. I think that's about all I got. Nick talked about field day. Be there, be square. That's all I got. All
9 sleeps.
9 sleeps till field day.
9 sleeps.
All right. Any questions? Go ahead, Dave.
Another question. Talking with Mark, the original gangster here, we're probably looking at the 3rd Saturday of July.
Okay.
Which would be the 19th.
Okay.
As the most likely day for the fox hunt.
Awesome.
So late July, third Saturday worked last year.
Okay.
That's probably what we're going to aim for this year, so it's about a month away.
All right. Sounds good. So put July 19th.
That's the Bob Bone Memorial?
That's the Bob
There
Bone
you go.
Memorial
All right.
Fox Hunt.
Memorial Fox Hunt. So pencil it in July 19th. So, all right. Thanks, everybody.
Because backup would be the next weekend?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Where are we meeting for that?
Josh, splendid job, my
We
friend.
haven't decided exactly where.
And I do want to give a shout out to Josh and the ops committee. They're just doing a bang-up job this year. And as a matter of fact, while I'm on that thread, all of our committee heads are doing a fabulous job, and things, believe it or not, are kind of working. They're kind of working, and that is a good thing. So there you have it. Any new club business? Anything else? Anything we need to know about before we move on?
I
Yes,
have
sir.
a comment to make. A little while ago, during all the committees,
Yes.
somebody came up here and handed me $5 and said, "This is for tickets,"
Oh, yeah.
and then didn't get any tickets.
Okay.
So
That's okay, too. That's not a problem.
It was, but your tickets are here.
Okay. All right, whoever's tickets those are, make sure you get them. Because I do want to say, our good friend and colleague and fellow club member and executive extraordinaire, highest ranking ARRL member that I am personally familiar with, Scott Yonley, brought us some gifts. So we do have, two books and an antenna, and we're going to raffle those off tonight as well. Scott, I don't know how to thank you. I don't, well, we do appreciate being on the good list, as I say in the morning on the barometer net. So if you're on the good list, that's a good thing. So thank you, Scott. Do appreciate it. Oh, wait a minute. Back to any new club business? Yes, sir. And I didn't do that, did I? Okay, before we conclude, my executive partner over there, we have some new people here that have never been here before. And of course, I normally take care of that in the beginning, but I did not. I think that could be impeachable. I'm just saying. I am just throwing that out. But if this is your first time here, please stand up and introduce yourself, and let us give you a round of applause. Yeah, that's you. That's one of you. Go ahead. Here. Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Solomon Kapala. So I'm coming out of Canada. So once we moved to Medina or Medina, whatever it's pronounced as.
We don't know how to pronounce it either.
Well, that's very true.
That's true.
I was part of a ham radio club in Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown Amateur Radio Club, and I got the basic license or a general license, I think, for over here. So I'm on just a 2 meters and 70, 210 and 70, I guess, if I'm correct. So I'm just trying to see if I can get the license over here. Maybe I saw on the club that you guys do the exams, so would be looking into it.
Is there a reciprocal agreement at all?
I'm not sure. One of you guys needs to.
Scott, do you know?
There is.
There is not? Okay.
I thought we need to write the exam. That's what I heard.
Okay. Is there a temporary anything? No. Okay.
I can still operate here, but I need to say VY2, Sierra Kilos.
I gotcha.
Control.
Okay.
Whiskey 8? Those three again? Yeah. So that's I can get on here for the morning net if I'm not busy. But if not, I'm trying to see what other bands I can get in.
Did you move here?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm at, I'm not sure which road it is. It's on Wadsworth Road and Poe Road, if I'm correct, or something like that. So it's just for
57
Oh,
yeah. So that's where
There you
on the corner.
All right, very good. Well, welcome. Welcome. And don't be a stranger and don't let some of these guys scare you. Which way? Which way am I going?
Gary, over there.
Clone yourself. There you go.
I'm Tom Wozencraft. I'm just checking things out.
Ah. All right. Are you licensed? No?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just stand by. We'll get you licensed. All right. Somebody over here, I know. Nobody else over here? Here you go, sir.
Hello, I'm Alan Bachman. I'm from Cog Falls, KE8EKZ. I just got started in the hobby, and I'm the guy that you hear on occasion that probably screws everything up when he's on the radio. So I'm still can't figure out call signs, so it's tough, but I think I'll get that end of it, or that handle of it. So good to meet you all. It's a very active club. It's looks exciting, so I look forward to talking to you guys.
All right. Thank you and welcome. There you go, sir.
Hi, I'm Martin Copper, KC8NOV, your Summit County Sky Warden Coordinator.
All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Did I miss anybody?
No, but quick thing there, Gary, for the new folks here.
Here.
When I came back in the hobby about 15 years ago, back when Ron was doing the barometer net, what I did is I kept a list of everybody who I talked to on the WAWKY repeater. And I just started a notebook, and eventually I just put it into a spreadsheet. And that's how I got to learn everybody's name and call signs and the sound of their voices. And I kept that with me for about the first 2 or 3 years of running the barometer net. And now I'm too lazy.
That happens. Well, I got to tell you, I spend a lot of time now trying to forget.
That's not too difficult for you.
No, it really isn't. I think we don't need this anymore. All right. Anything else for the good of the cause?
50-50.
I got you. All right. Comments, questions, anything else before we pull the plug?
Pull the plug.
Pull the plug. All right, 50-50 raffle.
I'm almost out of tickets, so you better hurry.
Well, we're done.
We're done.
We're done here.
Check the numbers. Where's Barbara?
Gary, did you hand him that